Not believe we are already halfway through the season. This is some horse shit.
I was like, damn, all right. Like, you're mad.
I'm just in a bad mood this week, Joe. Overall,
like you,
there's been some things that have happened in the NFL that have just pissed me off. The season's going by too quickly. Only
you're,
bright side I have is that the Raiders suck again. That's really the only thing that I'm banking on right now. Even my fantasy team lost. Remember I came out on last week bragging with the belt, how I'm 6-0 and all this stuff. I lose the next week.
like, well, I mean, is bragging about the Raiders sucking? Is that like something? Is that worth it anymore? Like, it's like
At
every
least it
year
gives me
now.
something. At least it gives me something. I don't know if you saw the news, but the Chiefs get to play Marcus Mariota this week.
Yeah, and, I mean that injury did look bad. Like I know that you texted and you were like, "Hey, the injury did look bad against the Cowboys." And you got to remember, it's not the same ownership in Washington, but you got to remember that they went through these injury things with RG3, and maybe they're trying not to repeat themselves. I'm like, okay, we can give it a little bit of a rest right now.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of things have happened this weekend. We're gonna go over all the games for week 8 angrily. Congrats, Joe. The Raiders don't have to play this week. They have a bye week. We're also gonna talk about some trades. Trade deadline is coming up very, very quick. I believe it's November 2nd or November 4th.
Yeah.
But in the next week and a half, some players will be moved. Teams that suck, maybe some suggestions for trades ahead of this trade deadline. And we're also going to review some of the games week 7 as we go along and give our picks for week 8 at the end of the show. Let's start off with some trade suggestions, Joe. Who are some players that we want to see traded, that we think should be traded, that logically should be traded? I'll start off with a suggestion first. Where should I go with the first one? Let's go with the Pittsburgh Steelers trading for Alan Lazard. This has to happen before the trade deadline, or it's not a trade deadline at this point. Alan Lazard has to be playing with Aaron Rodgers for this playoff run that the Steelers look like they're setting up to go on. Come on. Alan Lazard to the Steelers. It has to happen. I'm kidding. I'm half kidding. I do think the Steelers should acquire a wide receiver. I think the perfect guy for them that'll give them a great wide receiver 2 option who fits in the slot, who's a lot like the backup guys they have that play behind him in case he gets hurt. They have guys to fill in for him. He won't be that expensive. He's on a team that sucks, that has a wide receiver that they're thinking about trading. Maybe they go, you know what? We'll trade this wide receiver 2 instead and still get something out of this trade deadline. Rashid Shaheed to the Pittsburgh Steelers is a match made in heaven to me. I think that would be perfect to stretch the field, open things up for DK. He can really do it all out of the slot for Aaron Rodgers. I think they've become good friends too. I love the way Shaheed plays football, and I just love his mentality. He looks like he's ready to score a touchdown on every single play. He'd fit well in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting one. I didn't think about that one, but I could take that one. I was gonna say Pittsburgh needs a wide receiver. Like they're sitting there with 4 wins. They need somebody out there. They've been trying it with the guys that they have, like Calvin Austin and stuff, just not working out. I would go to my favorite team, the Las Vegas Raiders, and say Jacoby Myers would be a good fit there.
Oh yeah, for the Steelers.
Because he is that complimentary second guy. Or if they really wanted to pull one off, what about Jalen Waddle?
Yeah,
Jalen
that would be
Waddle,
nuts.
I
And
don't know.
I had Jalen Waddle written down for the Dolphins. But the Dolphins are in a weird spot, man. I don't know. I think they should trade Jalen Waddle because the Tua departure obviously is incoming. They're gonna probably fire their coach and start over with the new group there. But man, he's just such a good player. A good young player in his prime. It's hard to be like, yeah, trade him.
Yeah, you don't want to get rid of all your assets, I guess, like
No.
some of them.
Maybe the older guys. Maybe you trade the running back too. Maybe different positions that don't have as high a difficulty to replace.
Yeah, I mean, and you got to think like there's some like I would think the Titans, the Jets, Dolphins, Raiders, like those teams have some good talent that they could trade off, and to some of these contenders if they're really serious about winning, depending on how much they want to go. You know what I mean?
Well, do you want to talk about the Raiders?
What do you want? What do you want to talk about? Because there
Well,
ain't
we already
much.
said Jacoby Myers,
There ain't
right?
much to talk about. Like,
We already said Jacoby Myers. I'm talking about trade talk. We already talked about Jacoby Myers, and the Raiders have a perfect bye week for this. Like
yeah,
almost exactly on the trade deadline. We already talked about trading Jacoby Myers, and there's a bunch of teams that could use Jacoby Myers. I think that will happen. But should the Raiders go further, Joe?
well, Jacoby came out yesterday and he said, I still want to trade, but I am a professional, so I will show up and do my thing.
You like to see that? Yeah.
So he's still saying it. I was thinking that he would be gone at least by today. I thought he would be gone already.
Okay.
Going into the bye week, just do it now. Like, why? What is the point of holding on to him into the next bye week? Like, just hold on to him, or just get rid of him before the bye and go. Um, and like, if the Raiders really wanted to, they could get rid of Jacoby Myers, trade him, and then Tyler Lockett is a free agent at 4:00 today, if they wanted to bring him in. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain things they could do to offset that. But yeah, I personally, I don't want to see Jacoby go, but I understand why he would go. Like, I mean, they're horrible. Like, what was he gonna do? Suit up for 30 plays on Sunday? Like, come on.
Yeah.
And if you can you're going to get a comp pick for him if you don't sign him and he signs somewhere else in the offseason. But at least this one would be a guaranteed pick of what round you're getting. So I think if somebody comes with a good third or fourth round pick, I think you got to take it, right? I don't know if Jacoby is worth that, but somebody might be desperate enough to try to be winning this season and go for it. So, yeah, I right now I would say trade him. I would say trade him.
Now, what would you say about Michael Mayer?
I like Michael Mayer, and it has showed that when Brock was off the field and he was off the field, it was a big drop, and people are actually seeing how good Michael Mayer is. But the Raiders have a lot of holes. The Raiders have a ton of holes, a lot of depth that need to fill, and so yes, Michael Mayer. Mike, I'm open to trading anybody. That's the way I am. You play fantasy football with me. You see the way I am. Like, you and I are the same. I don't. If you come with me with a good offer and I look like it will benefit the team in the long haul, I'm going to do it. Especially if the Raiders have holes. Like, you have a hole at defensive back, you have a hole at wide receiver, you have a hole at offensive line, but you're going to hold on to two tight ends because you're going to say, no, we might need them in the future. No, you got to trade your assets when you can and trade them when they're hot. And if somebody wants it, you do it. So I think it all depends on the deal. Like Max Crosby, that rumor came out yesterday about Max Crosby, Cowboys, whatever. I would be looking at it.
That's what I was about to ask next. What if the phone rings? Ring, 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 ring. Hello, this is Mr. Poles. Would love to talk to you about trading Max Crosby to Bears. We heard the Vikings got a good defense. We heard the Packers got a aspiring defense. We heard the Lions are coming up. They got a pass rusher. We want a pass rusher. Would you send Max like in a Khalil Mack redo trade over to the Bears? I know the Cowboys are in conversations. That does seem like a Cowboys move. Also, what's interesting about this is this is Jerry Jones basically saying that he thinks Max Crosby is leaps and bounds better than Micah Parsons, like way better to trade for a player and pay him versus just pay a player to stay.
Well, isn't he? Like,
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, we've all said that Micah Parsons is a great pass rusher.
Yeah.
But a complete game, a complete player is different. Like, and I think this would be the time to rip the Cowboys off. Like, Jerry Jones took a lot of heat in the media. Your defense not playing that good. You go out there and you get the first round picks or whatever. Like, he would pay for it. Like, he would pay. Like, this is the time to get him. But the Raiders came out, gave the dreaded voted confidence to Max Crosby, said they're not trading him.
What? And they already said that?
Yeah, they said it yesterday that they're not trading him.
Ruining my whole freaking talking segment here.
Yeah.
Just to leave it up in the air. I was thinking Tampa. I was going to suggest Seattle. I want to see him join a pass rush crew instead of just be isolated by himself trying to carry a whole defense.
It said that the Raiders sat down with Max Crosby and then decided they're not going to trade him. So that means Max said, "Don't trade me during the season." Like, Max
doesn't give a shit about winning, does he?
That's what I saw. Somebody had it put in the comments. They go, "Man, he's just as bad as us fans."
Yeah, he's just like along for the ride. He's a Raider fan. He is.
I mean, I guess like some people don't want to be traded during the season. Maybe that's his thing. Like, trade me in the off season, but not now. But I think if you can get the value for it, like, you should have. But
Well, imagine the 49ers, man, and they're like, hey, we're going to be ripping off that Brandon Ayuk Band-Aid this offseason anyways. We're probably going to be losing Trent Williams to retirement. We're probably losing some of these other guys to age here in the next couple of years. What if they're like, hey, I know that we're paying a quarterback way too much. We're overpaying him. Let's try and offset that, save this season, trade for Max Crosby, and then the 49ers will be set up next few years with Crosby and Bosa together. That would be freaking nuts.
Yeah, and I'm not going to speak for Max Crosby, but from what I've heard is he doesn't want to go to the NFC. So
Since when do edge rushers not want to go to certain conferences? What is going on?
Max Crosby likes going against the best of the best, and you and I have talked about it. Like I think the NFC is lesser than the AFC, and Max Crosby loves to going against Patrick Mahomes. He loves to going against some of these guys, and I think he would love to stay in the AFC if possible. But why would the Raiders do that? Like that would be stupid.
That's so dumb. That's basically him saying like, I don't want to get traded, so I'm just going to say something that's impossible. The Raiders will be dumb almost to trade him to any AFC team, especially a team that they're going to play a lot, especially a team that's in competitive race for the AFC title and Super Bowl. I mean, that's what only teams that would be interested in acquiring Max Crosby are in this situation. So there's no way that he would get traded to an AFC team. And then if he did, I would just be like, the Raiders are absolutely stupid again. Here we go.
Yeah.
If you were the Ravens right now, this is a tough, sticky situation for the Ravens because their roster is underperforming and they're injured. You could argue that a change of defensive coordinator, getting Lamar Jackson back, they could immediately be contenders again that quickly with those two things. But they're 1-5. Lamar doesn't look like he's coming back this week. Like, we're getting too far out to where it's even possible for a possible comeback. Should the Ravens just on the season? Should they just shut Lamar down, trade Derrick Henry, and think about the future already? I would seriously consider it with one more loss.
I think they have to consider it, but it depends because you still want to see what he could do. You still put and Lamar is probably not that kind of guy who goes, yeah, you know what? Even though I'm healthy, I'll sit out the next 6 games, and wait till next season. It's not going to be out there. He wants
to me. He does feel like that kind of guy a little bit. He does feel a little bit like, hey, I'll do the business move when it's 1-6, 3-3, 2-5. Like something we could work with something where we could win 3 in a row and get back to 500, but 1-6 is what they're facing. 1-7.
I haven't looked up Derrick Henry's contract, but how long is he signed for? Like, is he tradable? Like, that would be a guy that the Ravens should go on the block.
That's what I'm saying.
You've seen the way they use like Justice Hill and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, even Keaton Mitchell could fill in.
Yeah, and if Derrick Henry only has like 1 year, like this is his last year or something like that.
No, he signed. It says his last year will be 2027, so he's actually signed.
Oh, so he re-signed it. He redid his deal since he's been.
He'll be 34 that season. So
yeah,
I don't know, man.
You trade him to a team that needs a running back right now, and
that can compete right now. So let's just trade Henry and Crosby to the Cowboys together. Oh, imagine the Cowboys just signed Derrick Henry like they were supposed to. That would have been great.
Yeah, remember Derrick Henry was only getting like $6 million. Like that
was crazy.
And they said he was waiting for the Cowboys to call him too, and they never called.
No.
Breece Hall could be traded.
I think that's a good one too because he's not going to cost that much. So teams that are in contention will feel like, hey, we're getting an RB1 caliber guy, but you're not going to have to pay that much for Breece Hall at this point in his career with this many injuries. He's on a contract year. Like I think that'd be a good move for the Chargers, honestly.
Breece Hall, Tony Pollard, I think would
be another good move for the Chargers. Chargers just fill in until Amari Hampton gets back.
I wonder if the Seattle Seahawks would move Kenneth Walker.
That'll be another great move for the Chargers.
Charbonnet basically taking over that backfield.
Yeah, Charbonnet is such a well-rounded player. It's hard to keep him off the field. Even when Kenneth Walker is no doubt a better north and south runner, but Charbonnet is just such a better all-around player. It's hard to pick which one is best for each situation.
Oh, Devon A-Chain. I think if you need a running back, and it's crazy. Like if you need a running back, this is the time to go get it. Right?
I know.
There's multiple.
If the Chargers got Devon A-Chain, man, and you got A-Chain and Hampton. That's better than Najee and Hampton together.
So that's what
the Bolts are the team that are in all these. I hope are in these running back conversations, even if it's a lesser move, like you said, Tony Pollard was a great suggestion for the Chargers, someone that can start, that can fill in, and give us some good production until we get Hampton back. Probably still a month away, but we're
Well,
getting
yeah, and
closer.
then you're not forcing them to come back early or anything. You're just like, hey, take your time because we're good.
It'll be
Um,
perfect. And you don't have to pay that much. That's why I like the Brees Hall and the Pollard idea, because we already traded for a, a lineman and we already spent a pick on that. The Chargers aren't necessarily known to be like F them picks. They value those picks. They think they can get superstars with those picks, as they have. They've got some star players with some of those picks, but man, we really like the problem with the Chargers. Like, everyone's complaining about the O line, and yeah, we can make moves at O line. Maybe we could get a guard in here that can help. It just seems like the chances are so slim that there's no lineman that can help the situation very much available on the market at this point in time. So I think the Chargers fixes at O line need to come from within. They need to shift things around. They need to get guys healthy. That's the main thing. Trey Pipkins and Joe Alt should be back this week, but can they stay healthy for longer than one game? I'm not even going to book on that or bank on that until we get through a freaking game, because every single player gets hurt in every single game. Like Mekhi Becton has not finished a game, but he's played in every game. It doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't think we can fix the O-line there. But the D-line, the Chargers' lack of pass rush has completely destroyed our defense the last 3 weeks. It's taken our defense from maybe the best defense in the league to one of the worst. It's all coming from where we used to have Puna Ford on the inside. Tierra Tart, he is a very good player, but he's just not that level of player this season, especially. I think that a move on the interior of the D-line may be something that I would cheer if the Chargers are going to make any kind of big move. I don't see them doing it, though. But I look at the Jets and I say, hey, how long are you guys going to keep wasting Quinnen Williams? I look at the Titans. How long are you guys going to hold on to Jeffrey Simmons? It's going to take you 3 years to rebuild that team around Cam Ward, and Jeffrey Simmons is going to be in his mid-30s and retired by then. Like, what are we going to do? But the Chargers just won't make that big a move. It just is not in their forte. It's not in Chef Ortiz's plans, I don't think. It's not in Harbaugh's typical nature to make a big trade in the middle of the season. But if they want to have a good defense down the stretch, it doesn't feel like that's coming from within, like the O-line can be fixed from within. So running back, because it's cheap, and the Chargers need to look at D-line from my perspective, at least.
well, how about
One more.
this, Mike?
Oh, go ahead.
How about the Chargers bring the hometown kid back? Right, you need pass rush help, you need D line help. Jalen Phillips, hometown LA kid.
Yeah. The problem is we need it inside more than anything. We need it inside really badly. Harrison's in the chat talking about the Titans. Yeah, the Titans rebuild. They need basically players at every position. I don't know how much Jeffrey Simmons is going to help accelerate that. You almost could get him and use that pick to draft a younger Jeffrey Simmons in next year's draft.
Yeah, the Titans said that that's the only guy that's untouchable.
Oh, okay. So perfect.
So Simmons, they said
Cam Ward's not untouchable, but Simmons is.
Well, no, they said Cam Ward and Simmons are the
Okay.
only two that we won't think about trading.
So Tony Pollard is going to get traded. And, Calvin Ridley could get traded. That's somebody that a team would like to get that could join their receiver room and give a boost. There's a few teams struggling at receiver.
Well, you would think New England would be in a market for a wide receiver.
That's a good fit. Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, you're just looking around the league and looking at people that need wide receivers. Like, there's a couple of teams.
Ridley to Carolina. That'd be nice.
No, I think Carolina. Once Choker gets going, I think they'll be all right. He just came back.
Yeah. One more that I wanted to bring up. Let me see. Let me make sure there's no more first that have to be talked about. No, I think this is it right here. I don't know what the Arizona Cardinals are doing, but they aren't going to be good this year. Let's just accept that. Stop with this Budda Baker thing. Trade Budda Baker to the Detroit Lions already. We all know it's going to happen eventually. Just do it. Just do it. Just don't trade him to the Chiefs. Whatever you do, don't trade him to the Chiefs. Because that's another spot where I can see the Chiefs being like, you know what? Let's really try and push this defense forward even more and make a move on a star player. And it might not be Budda Baker, but I can see it being a secondary player.
Yeah, and this is what I hate about it is like everybody complains about the Chiefs. Everybody talks crap about how the Chiefs are, but then they all do business with the Chiefs. It's like, yeah, you need a wide receiver? Here's DeAndre Hopkins for your playoff run. It's like, why? Every damn time they do that.
Or yeah, here's the positioning to move up and draft the next Deshaun Jackson in case you wanted help.
Well, Buffalo helps them in the trade.
Exactly.
On draft day.
Oh man, but Buda Baker, I want to see that trade at this deadline really, really badly because I love Buda Baker. I want to see him go to a team that's competing right now and finish his career
Buddha.
strong. I think the Eagles come to mind too. I know that they would be dumb trading him to the Lions, but it just seems a little bit more likely that the Cardinals and Lions would work together than the Cardinals and the Eagles. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you see DBs get traded in the conference more so than other positions and receivers. One more question I had for you, Joe. If you were the GM of the Philadelphia Eagles and you're told, hey, it's time to move on from Jalen Hurts or AJ Brown, which one would you move on from?
Probably Jalen Hurts.
Me too. That's why it's kind of funny. It's an interesting question for Eagles fans to ponder because I think Tanner McKee would be freaking good.
That's what I'm going to say. Like, you saw what Tanner McKee could do last year with these guys.
He'll add an element that they haven't seen in years to their offense.
And, I mean, it's hard to find a good quarterback in the NFL. And not saying that Jalen is elite. We know that he's not elite, but he's a good quarterback. He's a solid quarterback, and he's helped. He's won a Super Bowl with them, right? So he's been able to run it. But look at that offense, Mike. Barkley, AJ, Smith, the offensive line. You got Dallas Goedert, right? You're like, put anybody in there. It'd be like the Joe Flacco situation in Cincinnati. Yeah. You put a good quarterback, a good quarterback in there.
Someone that can be on time. Yeah.
Yeah. You
stop with the gimmick plays. Stop with all the gimmicks.
Yeah. Hand the ball off to Barkley. Let him do his thing, and then do the play action after that. Like, some people overthink themselves in the NFL, and some people like it. Just sometimes you got to keep it simple, right? Keep it simple.
Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, but that's our suggestions for some trades. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the live chat. Like the stream, please, if you're watching this. Like the video if you're watching the replay. Subscribe to the channel also while you're down there. But again, comment some trade suggestions that we might not have brought up. Or if you like some of the ones we brought up, share those ones and say, hey, come on, guys. Let's make this happen. Allen Lazard to Pittsburgh, or we riot. That simple.
Fucking Lazard. For some reason, I didn't even think Lazard played anymore. And I was like, why are people talking about Lazard to Pittsburgh? And then I was like, oh, shit, he's still on the Jets? Like, did you see yesterday the Jets owner took a shot at Justin Fields?
Oh, he did? The Jets owner's taking a shot at his own players?
Well, they asked him how he thought his coach was doing, Aaron Glenn. Yeah. And he goes, anybody who has a quarterback that plays like this is struggling. Just look around the NFL, basically saying, like, and Tyrod Taylor is starting this week, right? So
yeah, I know. After last week, they said, oh, why would we bench him after he had a bad game? And it's like the next week we completely changed our tune. But we won't bring that up, Aaron Glenn, or talk about that at all. Let's get to the picks, Joe. We're starting with Thursday Night Football. My Los Angeles Chargers are hosting the Minnesota Vikings. And man, am I excited to have a short week this week after what the Chargers have been going through and the struggles that we've been having. We already know about the injuries. I don't need to go on and on and on about those issues. We did get, yeah, exactly. And then we did get Khalil Mack back, which is good, but he wasn't able to play really at full speed. You could tell out there. Hopefully he can be closer to full strength. He has like a robot arm on the dislocated side. I don't know how affected he is, but our defense was absolutely atrocious against the Colts. And maybe it's the Colts too. Like I've earned a lot of respect for the Colts over the last couple of weeks. If I needed a stamp on it, that was a good stamp to respect the fucking Colts, I guess.
Well, what did I tell you last week? Jonathan Taylor is a bad motherfucker.
Yeah. And that's what I was talking about with the D-line. The Chargers are like only able to focus on one thing defensively right now. When we go to try and stop the pass, yeah, we have a good secondary that can stop the pass, but the rushing defense completely is then terrible. Then you go and stop the run, we load the box, and our guys are in man coverage. They do play action pass. Somewhat mobile quarterbacks, Daniel Jones, Jaden Daniels, they'll extend plays, and now your guys are in man coverage down the field on Deebo Samuel, who didn't play the next week, knowing our luck. But Deebo Samuel and Michael Pittman and even Alec Pierce got a big play in this game. So the Chargers are having all kinds of problems. With all that being said, Joe, so are the Vikings. The Vikings' problems are much worse. They don't have a quarterback. And I think that the Chargers defense can have a little bit more of a get-right game here. Jordan Mason is not quite Jonathan Taylor, and we could lock in. And sometimes on a short week, too, you simplify things, get that turnaround, get that sour taste out of your mouth, and go out there and get after this Vikings offense that's turning the ball over like crazy. They're fumbling, they're stumbling, they're throwing interceptions. We just have to lock in and just play a clean game on our side, and the Chargers will win this. I do have it being close, though, in my prediction. Man, like I said in the trade segment, we need Trey Pipkins out there really badly. But if those guys play, I got us winning it 28-24, and that's completely unbiased, Joe. You could bet on that. Put your MyBookie promo code NFLMIKE in and bet on the Chargers.
He says, I want to scream and shout and let it all out.
You're going to get me a copyright strike.
No, you can't get copyright if you sing it yourself.
I don't know about that. I wouldn't be so sure. YouTube's kind of crazy.
Especially when I sing it better than the original. Like they can't give me a copy strike for that.
Please tell me you're picking the Chargers.
So is Aaron Jones back for real? Because I saw that he was. They're saying he's back for real.
That's not.
I don't know, Mike. This is a tough one because you say the Vikings don't have a quarterback. Like I know Wentz is hurting, and I know JJ is still out, but you don't think Brosmer is going to tear you guys up? Like, come on! Like this is the year of backup quarterback.
If he does, I am actually going to delete my page.
And then you have you still have a good solid. This is funny because the Vikings offense with the shittier offensive line is basically what we're talking about, like with the Eagles. Like if you can get a good quarterback in there with timing, you should be able to go up and down the field on most of these teams, right? Like
that's what's embarrassing about Wentz. He can't throw it to the right team or get the timing down at this point in his career. What the hell, dude?
Hey, the one thing Wentz does do is he finds Justin Jefferson, and if he has to throw to him 18 times a game, he's going to throw to him 18 times a game. Like
that's the problem. Is even if they throw it to him 18 times, he's probably going to have 18 catches.
Hey, but if you're in fantasy football and you're in PPR, that's all that fucking matters, right? Like, just give me it. Just give me that. Isn't there something about teams traveling back on Thursday night, like traveling a certain mile back in the time zones and stuff like that, and miles back, that they lose games? Like it's like 100% that they always lose.
I don't know. It seems like something I should know, though.
Yeah, there is a
it's
like some kind of stat out there.
Good thing it's at home. The Chargers Navy blue field is going to be debuted in our 0-7 Navy blue uniforms.
I know. I forgot to make that video, but I was so depressed last week. I was gonna be like, at least we might have lost to the Chiefs and we might have been embarrassed, but at least we didn't wear these piss yellow uniforms. Like,
those unis are fire, Joe. I don't care what you say.
Yeah, you know what? I want to take the Vikings, but I think I'm going to lean more towards the Chargers just because I think there is a stat of something about teams traveling west on Thursday night and losing a certain amount. Like I want to say that. So I'm going to go with the Chargers based on history.
I just have seen Wentz play so bad the last couple of weeks, and I've not bet on him, but I put underdog picks on him to throw it to Justin Jefferson, to get it out to these wide receivers. He got Addison last week, I know. He better not come out and be lethal against us, I swear. Like, this is getting ridiculous now. Like, every team's bringing their best A-game play to the Chargers week after week after week, and I watch them the next week, and they look like shit. I can't take it anymore. I just can't. So, please.
Take this shit no more.
Please. Like the Commanders, man, they literally got healthy just for the Charger game, and then they all got hurt again immediately right after the Charger game. It's almost like that they just got ready for the Charger game. It's stupid. Dolphins on the road in Miami, or not Miami, on the road in Atlanta against the Falcons. Even when the Dolphins play at their best this season, Joe, they're losing. So I'm going to take the Dolphins to lose, even if they play their absolute best. It feels like they're giving up. Like, even when you watch the defense play, their tackling effort is just not there. The Tua versus Mike McDaniel beef is one of the weirdest beefs I've ever seen between a coach and a quarterback, because it's like they're both not media trained, so they're just being quiet and not saying anything. They both are like one slip up away from saying something awful every time they step up to the microphone.
Tua play quarterback.
Mike McDaniel almost looks drunk, and I don't want to say it because I know he's an alcoholic, but Jesus, he's struggling, bro. He does not look like he's in a good way right now.
Tua throw ball to the other team.
Yeah. Then there's also something in the back of my head, Joe, that remembers that Stephen Ross offered Brian Flores $1 million per loss. You tell me Mike McDaniel ain't taking that? You tell me Mike McDaniel wouldn't take that immediately? Brian Flores wants a career. Like, he wants to win. This guy's uber competitive. Mike McDaniel's cool with being the 49ers offensive coordinator, I'm pretty sure. And
hey, but what if you're
$10 million richer?
What if you're like, hey, I'm going to fire you at the end of the season anyways. Do you want to make a little extra money before you leave?
That's basically what Brian Flores sued him for. But yeah, that's what happened.
Like, hey, at the end of the season, you're fired. So you got 10 games left.
Yeah.
I'll pay you an extra $10 million to make sure you lose every game the rest of the season.
He's like, sure, coach, I'll keep Tua in. Ewers is not going to play.
Yeah, it's not hard. Like, Tua, call the same play over and over, and Tua will take care of it for you.
Atlanta does scare me, though, a little bit, Joe, because they've been so inconsistent. It's like 1 week their offense looks unstoppable, and the next week they don't got it together at all. So I do worry a little.
Yeah, but once they get Bijan going,
it seems like a nightmare matchup for that.
Yeah, and there's no way I like, even if I wanted to, Mike. Like, even if I want to, there's no way you could trust Tua and Miami right now. There's no way. Like, yeah. So I'll take Atlanta, even though they are kind of banged up a little bit. I know they lost Diablo, their best linebacker, last weekend, but I'll take Atlanta.
I'm going with Atlanta also. I got them winning it 34-20. Next up, another team that is in the same division, the JETS SUCK. But Tyrod Taylor is coming in, and I think that their offense will get a little bit better with Tyrod Taylor, but it's not going to be great. I think when you look at the other side of the ball, too, when you look at what the Bengals have been doing, the last 6 quarters, ever since Joe Flacco's gotten in there and gotten comfortable, we take away that first half against Green Bay. He had just gotten to the team like a few days beforehand. 6 straight quarters now, the Bengals have won on the scoreboard. And I think that's the only 6 quarters maybe that they've like sure-handedly won since the Joe Burrow injury. So I think that's going to continue against this Jets defense that's absolutely struggling. And I think the Bengals are going to go off and score 40 points.
Yeah, and what happened? Like, the Bengals defense was better without Henderson last week? Like that? What? Like, all of a sudden now you want to play?
Sometimes I watch this shit and then I'm just like brought back to square one. Like, do I know anything about football anymore?
Yeah. Hey, but then if you would have known, like, Mike Tomlin can't win on Thursday night against his own division. Like, that's like I think he's like 0-6 or 0-7 now against his own division. Something about it. And so, it could have been a fluke, right? Could have been Thursday night fluke like we always seen. But this is the Jets. It's the Jets, and I think the Bengals should be able to pull this one out. Hell, if people wanted them to get their money's worth and Tyrod Taylor's on it, let's make this a 47-45 game right here.
That'd be crazy.
No defense, just all offense. Joe Flacco, Tyrod Taylor, just going at it.
And we're talking Tyrod going for like 350 total yards right now. Like,
just the old Tyrod Taylor is.
Yeah, I think I had it Bengals 38, Jets 17 is what my score was.
I'll take the Bengals. That's what they brought Joe Flacco in here, right? Is to stay afloat until Joe Burrow comes back. And that's what they got to do. They got to win game. This is the games that they got to win to keep their record good enough until Joe Burrow is able to come back on the field. And, hey, Joe Flacco's doing it correctly. The way that we talked about it with these other offenses, find your playmakers. He got T. Higgins involved. Now it's like, oh, T. Higgins is back. Jamar Chase had 16 catches on Thursday night. 16. What's the record? 21? Like, come on.
I thought he was going to break it, too. I think if he catches a few more passes, like he dropped a few passes, too. If he catches those drops, he would have gotten really close.
Yeah.
And it would have gotten to the point where they're talking about it on the sideline. Like, hey, maybe throw it to him one more time or 2 more times. He might break the record tonight.
But what a game that was a hell of a game though.
It was. That was a fun game to watch. I'm so glad to see Aaron Rodgers having fun again too, and you could see it every week almost, especially on prime time. Another one between two teams or between a team that sucks and a team that's absolutely red hot. The Browns going to New England. I know the Browns just got the win last week. We talked about it over the Dolphins, who could not tackle anybody. Judkins, sure enough, ran all over them. I think that the Browns can find some success in the ground game against New England here, but it's not going to be on the same level as they did against Miami. And I think the Patriots' O-line is really coming together and improving. Drake May's finding his timing and when to extend plays, when to throw the ball away, when to launch it down the field. He's getting it together. I got the Patriots winning this one. The Patriots' easy schedule continues with a win in New England. Is this in New England or in Cleveland? I'm not sure. Someone comment for me, please.
You have it in New England. I don't know.
I'm not sure 100%. But what do you
It
got
looks
for
like New England. I'm taking the Patriots because if you can't, the Browns are one-dimensional. Like, Dylan Gabriel's not going to win a game for you. No. So all you got to do is stop the run. But I mean, good luck stopping Judkins. Like he's a badass. He's a great rookie and is just unstoppable. And he's going to score some touchdowns. But New England's on fire with their offense. Drake May's going and they're moving up and down. They're like you said, it might be an easy schedule, but who cares? You play the game that's in front of you, and you win the games, and you keep going. So the Patriots are momentum's a hell of a thing to have, and every game, like you could say it's an easy schedule, Mike, and you could say they're playing lower opponents, but the confidence that team is building each and every time they go out there and they're winning against these teams because they're still NFL teams that they're beating is great. So I think New England's defense is good enough to stop the Browns. Like I said, I'm not until Dylan Gabriel or somebody in that quarterback room can show you that the Browns can be more than just a running team. They're just going to be that average team.
Yeah, and the thing about the Patriots too is that they're still leaving like a lot off the plate. Like they still could eat some more in the ground game, and they're starting to figure out a little more. Ironically, with Ramondre Stevenson more so than Henderson. I'm not going to complain about it. I just want to see the Patriots rushing attack reach its max potential also. Because if you put that together with the passing attack, they could get scary good in a hurry too. With Mike Vrabel's culture, it's coming together well for the Patriots. And for Patriots fans that are tuned into this, are probably very excited to see old times possibly returning to New England. Yeah, I got the Patriots winning this one too easily. Next game that I think is another one where a lot of people probably are going to bet on the Giants because they just upset the Eagles a couple weeks ago. I think I'm going to roll with Philly. I know that this game could be still close. It is a divisional game. This one is in Philly. And since they played 2 weeks ago, this is going to be a battle of who can correct their mistakes and play a clean game. I just think that the Philadelphia Eagles, they're way more built to go and analyze that film against the Giants, why they lost that game, correct all those mistakes, and kind of come out here and maybe win easily now against a very, very young Giants team. Another key, no Jalen Carter in that Giants game. He's in for this one. Scattaboo meets Carter in the hole. Can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, Carter didn't play the first game on Thursday night. Somebody said, is Jackson Dart the guy? Is he that guy, Mike?
Is he that guy? I'll say yes for the Giants. I'll say he's their franchise quarterback. I'll say yes. I'm not super confident because I'm literally worried about him running himself out of the league, which happens a lot with these mobile quarterbacks where you get a little too confident running the ball and you scramble your own eggs.
Yeah, I think just the confidence level that he brings is something that they needed, right? Some like just the boost of energy that some of these rookies bring in, and it's still yet to be determined if he is that guy. But if he continues to keep playing and improving, and they have something to work with, then yes, then he can be.
What I do believe in is that Giants O-line is really coming together, and now I wasn't so sure on Scattaboo if the power was going to translate at the same level it was in college. It looks like it has. So if you put those two together and we focus on the Giants being a smash mouth football team with a good defense, I'm all in on Jackson Dart at that point. But if we're going to have Jackson Dart just run around like a lunatic and hope that that's going to work each week, we're going to see a lot of games like this Denver game last week. It was very entertaining, but it's going to be short. It's going to be a 3-year run.
Yeah. I'm taking the Eagles in this game. I think the Eagles with Carter, and they're not gonna get upset one more time against Dart. Like you said, they know what they're doing. The Eagles defense don't have cornerbacks, but I don't think they got to worry about that against the Giants, who don't have wide receivers. So it kind of goes both ways.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes here. Bills on the road in Carolina. This is an interesting game.
Harrison.
It's just like I feel bad for the Panthers, man. Every time they start to find something, I think the Panthers have 3 straight wins. They're 4-1 or 3-1 in the last month. To get it all together, Bryce Young's heating up. It seems like he's starting to perfect the Dave Canales offense. Everything's going great. Defense is playing good. O-line's coming together. They're running the ball with Rico and mixing in Chuba now. And then Bryce Young goes down. It's just like the Panthers can't catch a freaking break, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not like Buffalo is that juggernaut that we all thought they were, like that badass team. Like
especially
Buffalo,
their defense is not. Their defense is not.
Yeah, their defense is beatable. So if you can get to Josh Allen, and Carolina's defense has been playing good, it's just if Bryce, like you said, if Bryce Young makes those mistakes or not. And
well, he's not even playing in this one. It's going to be Andy Dalton.
Oh, hell yeah! That's why I was seeing all the Andy Dalton stuff. Hey, Andy Dalton ain't no fucking slouch, man.
I like how you just clicked right there. You're like, oh hell yeah, I'm more in on Dalton than I was Bryce. You taking the Panthers?
Should I?
I mean, I'm taking the Bills. I am. I think they're coming off 2 straight losses, coming off a break. You're really motivated going into this game. Now you're playing against a backup quarterback. I'm going with the Bills.
Look,
they're going to load the box. They're going to force Andy Dalton to throw it down the field to these wide receivers. Yeah, they could beat him. They could beat him a few times. I think so, but I don't know if they're going to just consistently do it all game. The Bills will put up 24, 31 points for sure. I do think that the path for the Panthers is if they can just completely dominate the Bills' defense on the ground, kind of like how other teams have, just completely wreck them.
Well, this is the battle of the best, like 2 best running teams in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
I think the Buffalo Bills are number 1 in running team, like rushing, and I think the Panthers are like 3.
I didn't know the Panthers were that high, but they've been definitely running it really well.
Yeah, so like this could be one of those low-scoring games that that both teams are just running, and that how the time just goes off the clock, and you're looking at like, damn, we're already at halftime, and then there's only been like 3 series.
Yeah,
like, man, I trust Andy Dalton a little bit more than I just trust Bryce Young. I'll tell you that.
Crazy.
Like,
that's crazy.
Damn, Mike, why do you put me in these predicaments like this with my friend Harrison watching, and I'm sitting here and you're already taking Buffalo? I'm doing it, Mike. I'm taking the Carolina Panthers to win this game.
Whoa, wait. Harrison now is saying that Bryce Young might play.
Well, I can always change it. So I'm going with the Carolina Panthers.
All right, Da Bears on the road in Baltimore. Not sure what the news is on Lamar Jackson, but last I saw, he wasn't practicing. Last I saw, he wasn't back at practice during the bye week. Last I saw, it's not looking good. And I think the Bears are heating up a little bit. I think their defense is playing solid the last 4 weeks in their 4-game winning streak. And especially their offense hasn't been perfect, but in the clutch moments, they've been clutch. They've gotten lucky also. So we got luck on our side. I mean, things are changing for the Bears. And like Andy's saying, like the Ravens season has spiraled almost completely off of the cliff. So you got some news or something?
Lamar Jackson returns to Ravens practice on Wednesday. That was 1 hour ago.
Wow. There you go. I'm still going with the Bears, even when Lamar plays. But go ahead, Joe.
Mike is still well. The Ravens defense, they played better last week, the last time they played, right before the bye week against the Rams. Like I thought the Rams would go in there and just destroy them, and then they didn't. It was 21-3 or whatever it was. So I don't know. Like, is Harbaugh going to wake this team up? Are they done? Like, what's going on? There's too much talent over there to be like they quit and then they're just going to lay down. And oh man. I'll take the Ravens. I'll take the Ravens.
All right. I think that's a good pick for us to be opposite on. It's all depending on Lamar's health.
Even though I do agree with you that the Bears are looking good. They're finally getting that two-headed running backs going, like Ben Johnson had in Detroit. Like there's a lot of things for Bears fans to look up to.
Andy debates. It's a great take, Andy, except for the fact that you spelled Caleb completely wrong, and that kind of makes me worry a little bit that you don't know what you're talking about.
Maybe he does it on purpose because he doesn't respect Caleb.
He's trying to throw me off like Caleb Johnson instead of Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
49ers on the road in Houston. Oh, by the way, Dan, thanks for that video idea. I'm going to mark that down. Lamar Jackson's record versus NFC teams for Sunday. 49ers versus Texans. This is another interesting one. It's like the Texans are trying to be the AFC 49ers. Like they're trying to mirror that strategy, that offense, that defense, and it's just not coming together. The Texans defense is freaking phenomenal. I mean, I think that it still can be one of the best defenses in the league down the stretch when we look at it all and come back to it. But the 49ers getting Kittle back, you don't realize what a difference that guy makes. He makes such a huge difference to their rushing attack. Like it's night and day with Kittle on the field, what they can do with CMC and what that does for him. This is a tough game to pick, but the Texans losing Nico Collins, it's going to make it not just harder for them to throw the ball, which they're struggling at, but it's going to make it even harder for them to run the ball, which they suck at, just straight up. I think the familiarity also, even though the Niners don't have Fred Warner, their defense is very familiar with the offense that the Texans are going to try and run here because it's their offense. It's their team, basically. D'Amico Ryan's trying to bring San Fran to life in Houston. So I'm going to take the Niners to win a close defensive battle, 17-14. And I don't know how San Fran does it, but they keep doing it. And your Super Bowl pick is looking good, Joe.
I'm taking the Niners to win this game because did you see C.J. Stroud the other night on Monday night? Like
he was not playing well.
Like C.J. Stroud just learn to take the underneath stuff. You don't have to get the bomb every time.
Yeah.
And it seems like watching that game like against last week against who were they playing? Seattle. Like there were so many times that he could have hit the underneath and he was just going. They went deep like 3-4 times in a row. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. C.J. Stroud, like his rookie season, he was up there, and now it's just like you're questioning every time he has that ball in his decision, and they can't figure out who their running back is. If it's Nick Chubb, if it's Marks, like just get it going. Like find the rhythm, find some identity on offense, and get going. But yeah, C.J. Stroud it seems like he feels like he has to hit a home run every damn play. Where you don't have to, and maybe that's the problem with a lot of these quarterbacks in the NFL. You don't have to. So I'll take the Niners in this one. I'll take the 49ers.
It's actually one of the sadder stories of the season because the Texans aren't having all the injuries all the other teams are having. Like, yeah, Nico Collins is down again, but they aren't like just absolutely ravaged. Like their offense just is bad. Their O-line is not very good. They have no rushing attack. It's bad. It's so bad that even like a top 5 defense can't cover up some of these issues. If they were just decent, they would be in a situation like the Chargers where, yeah, we're having these issues, we're struggling, our weaknesses are getting exposed, but we're finding a way to win some games still. We're finding ways to pull it out at the end. The Texans don't have that ability at all to me, and the Niners absolutely have all of that. They're running completely on that. So I'm going with the Niners too.
It's like teams forget that it's okay to punt. It's okay to punt the ball.
Yeah.
You don't have to – and field position is a big thing in the NFL. Like, don't make the mistake and don't do something stupid to put your defense in a bad situation. Punt the ball, keep them in bad field position, and go from there. Especially with the defense like the Texans have. Let them get you out of that spot.
Yeah, and give Seattle a ton of credit. That defense is humming. They're a lot of fun to watch, too, now that they've put all these guys together, and Mike McDonald's put it all together as a scheme. Niners, just watch that tape. Do the same thing. Probably going to work. It worked for 4 straight quarters. It's probably going to keep working into a 5th. Bucks is the next game. This is a game that the Buccaneers are going in with half a team maybe against the Saints. I think Bucky Irving's already been ruled out of this game. Mike Evans is obviously injured. I think Emeka Ibuka, Chris Godwin are at risk of missing this game as well. But I just feel like the Bucs D held in a little bit better. They're playing a little bit better. They're not terrible. Baker Mayfield looked pissed at the end of that game. He should be. He missed a bunch of throws, one of his worst games of the season. The Saints, I think, are a team that could be trading somebody any second now. Like our phones could ring and Shaheed or Olave could be off this team. I think they're giving up on the season. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers. I'm believing in Tampa to just rise above, even with all these injuries, and just find a way to win this game against the Saints. But what do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I'm going with you. Even with the injuries, I mean, it sucks to see Mike Evans break his collarbone, and I think there was more involved in that, but they're not saying it. But yeah, it just sucks to see a great player like Mike Evans go through the season that he's doing it. First time he's ever had like this bad of a season with injuries.
Yeah.
He's always had those hamstring injuries, but this is just like his streak's going to end this year, Mike. 1,000 yards. It's probably
I
going
mean,
to end.
don't rule him out yet. Maybe we could have like 500 his last 2 games or something. Don't. It's not over yet.
But yeah, I'll take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I believe in Baker and what he's doing down there. I think he can overcome some of those. And Tej Johnson has been looking good even in the small time that he's been in there.
Don't tell anyone about him, please.
Hey, and this is why you keep good running backs, right? They could have traded White. They could have got rid of Rashad White, but you always have it. Hey, Mike, I'm not gonna brag about this, but remember when I talked about Bucky Irvin in the offseason and I said this, I don't feel good about him going into this season, and I was told like it's Bucky Irvin, like he's gonna have a good season. I said, we'll see.
Yeah. Long term, I'm really worried about the Bucs and their season being derailed by these injuries, man. They need a healthy Emeka. They need a healthy Bucky out there if they want to be contenders in the NFC, because their defense, unless they make a move on Max Crosby or someone like that, their defense just is not going to be what's going to carry them. Yeah, they can play good in spots when you need them to, but they ain't carrying shit.
No.
The secondary especially is bad. Titans on the road in Indianapolis. This seems like an easy pick for me.
Do we even need to talk about this?
I want to just put this out. Removed from what's happened this season between the Titans and the Colts should be undefeated, by the way, if A.D. Mitchell doesn't fumble on the 1-yard line. And the Titans should not have a win if DeMericardo doesn't fumble on the 1-yard line going in. So both of their loss and their win shouldn't have happened on both sides. But even removed from that, the Colts have a 5-game winning streak going against the Titans, I think, with 4 different quarterbacks. So even before you add Danny, before you find all this success, the Colts are destroying the Titans the last couple of years. It's Colts all the way, but it seems like when you have the lock of the week, the lock of the century, the survivor pick that everyone should pick, that's when it happens. That's when
and it is a division game.
That's when you get 2 fumbles and a pick in the first quarter from Daniel Jones, and that's what happens. I got the Colts. Yeah. There's no reason logically to pick the Titans unless you're trying to piss people off.
Yeah, I think the Colts win. I think they win it easily, but like you said, it's any given Sunday in the NFL.
Yeah, we've seen crazier. And this would be one of the more shocking games and upsets that maybe I've ever seen. If that's how sure I am. That's how much things are going one way heading into this. Washington on the road in KC, another one that I would be shocked if Mariota goes into Kansas City on prime time on Monday Night Football. Sunday Night Football is also my game of the week. That's why we're skipping Sunday Night Football. But to me, it just no Debo, no Terry. Armstrong went down also. People are kind of missing out on that news based off the Jaden Daniels news. Their defense already sucked. They couldn't stop anyone in the run, stop anyone in the pass. The Commanders are on a downward spiral right after they finished playing the Chargers, and I keep bringing it up. I'm going with the Chiefs to win this, unfortunately, and win this pretty easily.
Well, the Chiefs had a bye week last week. They got a ton of practice in, and
yeah, that makes it even worse.
Yeah, it was. They got to do whatever they want. They look like they're getting healthy. Rashee Rice is back out there. He looked good. It's the Chiefs, Mike. Like when you had them down and the NFL had them down and out, they couldn't keep them down. They couldn't keep them down. They come right back, and now they're getting healthy and they're getting their team back. And somebody's going to train them a running back, and they're going to be better. Like it's going to suck. Like
yeah, what is the phrase? Like if you come for the king's crown, you better not miss.
Yeah, like yeah. As much as we hate to see it, Kansas City going to win this game too.
Probably. Their winning streak is going to continue. All right, I'm going to get to my game of the week and upset of the week. And spoilers, they're both upsets of the week. But first, just one quick shout out to the sponsor of the Mike's Pickems Challenge this year, MyBookie. Use code NFLMIKE, guys. Put in your picks. You can copy our picks. You can make your own parlays. No matter what you do, they're giving my audience a special offer. Every person who goes and uses promo code NFLMIKE will get a free first bet. So that first bet you put in, even if you lose, they're going to give you your money back to try and win again. If you win, the winnings count. Again, use promo code NFLMIKE on that. My parlay this week, I got the Chargers, unbiasedly. I got, who else do I got this week? I think I got I got the Eagles. A lot of people are kind of high on the Giants. I got the Cowboys, which we're going to talk about here in a second. I got the Steelers, and I had one more game. Which one was it? Oh, it was the Bears on the road in Baltimore. This is a very risky parlay. Now that I'm looking at it, so make sure you guys put in your own picks. Don't necessarily risk everything on your first bet like NFL Mike here. But my bookie, shout out.
You must love the Chiefs a lot because I just realized you put it twice on the graphic on the bottom.
Did I mess up? Oh yeah, I did.
You love the Chiefs. You put the Cowboys too.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with them. No, I actually made two versions of this. I did realize this.
You're so upset with how the Chargers are playing right now that you'll just put the Broncos and Chiefs twice.
Okay.
You know what?
I usually don't do this, but this week actually is a good betting week, y'all. This week is a week. A lot of the games seem a little bit predictable to me. So I did put the Sunday Night Football game as the game of the week. I usually wouldn't. I usually would make sure I have this primetime game and my game of the week separated. I also have this as one of my upsets of the week because the Cowboys offense is on absolute fire. I know the defense is hot garbage, but the Broncos cannot keep getting away with this. The Jets game they should have lost. The Giants game they should have lost. The Eagles game they should have lost. Enough with this thievery. Now you get CeeDee Lamb. Now you get George Pickens. Now you get a red hot Dak Prescott. I need the Dallas Cowboys to win this game. Maybe I'm trying to manifest the Dallas Cowboys into winning this game. But I got the Cowboys winning it 35-31 as an upset win. Thriller on Sunday Night Football. Who do you got, Joe? I don't want to hear you say Broncos. If you say Broncos, then we're ending the show. We're not even going to finish it.
You got Bo Nix. You got Blow Nix. I mean,
leave.
How much does that take it out of you? Like, we've seen teams like that have big win like the Broncos did last week. 33 points in the fourth quarter, unheard of. Like, that's unbelievable. And
the Giants had a 99% chance to win the game twice. Yeah,
and they said that it's like teams that have an 18-point lead or something like that with 10 minutes left to go were 1,062-0 or something like that. Like, every stat that was out there, like the Broncos blew past it, and they missed. Like, shit happened where the extra point was missed. Like, all that stuff that you needed to do happened.
It was insane, Joe. I was at the Charger game, right? I was at the Charger game. Chargers are absolutely getting blown out, so I'm already pissed. And I put that game up because I'm like, oh, at least the Broncos are losing by a lot. I could get some cheer up from this and just boom, 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 boom. It's like I jinxed it. I shouldn't have put it on.
Well, I told you, like, last week, I go, I'm taking the Giants. I think the Giants can beat the Broncos. And we were like, yeah, whatever. I think we both took the Giants, and we were like, we did it. And I had a buddy that hit me up, and he was like, should I take the Broncos in my survivor pool? And I was like, I don't know. I think the Giants can beat them. So imagine taking the Broncos in a survivor pool and being like, I'm done. Like, I'm out of here. And then they come back and win that. Like, you're like, oh, crap.
Well, that's like my fantasy matchup for this belt here. My first loss came to a 1-point loss, but I had a 4-point lead with both Sam Laporta and Jamison Williams, and they got 4.5 points combined. Like, I almost pulled that shit out.
We can beat anybody when we score 33 points in the fourth. Yeah.
Anyone can beat anybody when he scored 33 points in the fourth.
Well, that's the film that you pull out and you show your team, like any team. You show them, like, it don't matter if you're losing. You come back. You can always come back and win this game. Yeah.
Well, I've said it multiple times this season, Joe. I started off the year just kind of like, man, Bo Nix is getting super overrated. He's getting super overhyped. But I'm starting to change my mind. I really am. Not that I think Bo Nix is this elite quarterback and he's going to be amazing. I think he can be like your average to good level quarterbacks, your Dak Prescotts, your Jared Goffs, your, certain guys when they play at their best. I'm starting to think Sean Payton's the problem there. I really am. This guy lets Bo Nix off the leash every week when they're down by 2 touchdowns, and then Bo Nix just starts lighting up any defense that he plays. But the first 3 quarters of the game, it was crickets under the Sean Payton game plan. But once the game plan's thrown out the window, the Broncos get better. I don't know, man. And I don't know if the Walmart ownership is going to be willing to rip that Band-Aid off, but it seems like Sean Payton at this point, and this happened with the Chargers a little bit when we had Joe Lombardi as our offensive coordinator. It got too simple. And yeah, Justin Herbert had a crazy statistical season that year we had Joe Lombardi. We were playing down in all those games by 10 points. That's why he had so many stats. So I hope that Sean Payton can do some self-reflection and give the play calling up first. That would be his first move that could help fix it a little bit. And maybe just do what they're doing in the fourth quarter and the first quarter. Crazy idea.
You know what, Mike? I'm going to go with you. I'm gonna take the Dallas Cowboys in this game. I don't know why, but I'm taking them with them.
I'm really banking that this Mile High thing does not affect those Cowboys wide receivers. I need that George Pickens versus Riley. You know what? That George Pickens versus Riley Moss matchup is so bad that they may cover Pickens with Surtain and go ahead and like try and double up CD or something coming off the injury. Like, I don't know what you do for the Pickens Riley Moss matchup that is set up here. I don't know. I have no answers for you. And then Pat Surtain versus CeeDee Lamb, that's going to be a duel, but maybe you go ahead and say, let's try and team defense CeeDee, their number one wide receiver, and let's lock down Pickens. I don't know. I don't know the game plan at all for the Broncos defense here.
Yeah.
Get to Dak, but they have a great O-line. Dallas's O-line is very sneaky good. Maybe going to be the line of the future in the league.
So you're saying I shouldn't trade George Pickens this week in fantasy football?
Well, he's at least going to draw some PI penalties at the very minimum. At the very maximum, he's going to catch 2 big touchdown passes.
So I should hold on to him one more week.
This is also something Andy is saying here, that Mavi, Sean Payton's the reason that the Chiefs blocked the field goal. I have noticed this too with Sean Payton, and I blame the coaches when this happens over and over again. The Broncos have had like 3 or 4 games in his time span lost on special teams. So that's also another thing to point out with the Sean Payton thing, where the game's come down to the end and a field goal flub up cost them a game. It's happened multiple times in the last couple of years with multiple different quarterbacks. All right, so we're both going Dallas. This one's interesting. What's your thoughts on the Aaron Rodgers revenge game? The Packers are coming to Pittsburgh, so this is not in Lambeau. That will make it even more interesting. To me, I don't understand how the Steelers are home underdogs in this situation. I know that they just came off of a loss, but like you said, that was like a weird Thursday game, playing a new quarterback on a short week. I think the Steelers lock in. They come out with a great game plan versus the Packers. I think that Packers offense is massively overrated, and their defense just flat out isn't that good at this point in time. Devontae White is questionable for this game. My upset of the week this week is the Steelers defending home turf and narrowly beating the Packers 27-24. Aaron Rodgers also needs this win to have beaten all 32 teams in the NFL to become the 5th quarterback ever to do that. A lot riding on the Steelers winning this. They better win it.
Yeah, I think this is a tough matchup for me because I want to take the Steelers to win this game, right? And I'm with you that I think Green Bay is a little bit overrated, but the Steelers, like, we remember the Steelers as a great defensive team. Every year their defense started. They've had Duck Hodgins, they've had Mason Rudolph as quarterback, and their defense has gone out there and won games for them. And now their defense is just straight garbage. Like, Jalen Ramsey showing that maybe he is over the hill. Like what's going on? Like, can they fix it since they played on Thursday night last week? And can they fix it just a little bit and get going? I mean, man, in my mind, I just see like Aaron Rodgers not able to get away from the Green Bay pass rush. Like, I think so I think I'm going with the Packers in this one. I think I have to. Like,
I see why. It's a tough pick.
Like, I want to see the Steelers win, and there shouldn't, like, Green Bay is having a hard time cover wide receivers, but if the Steelers had another wide receiver out there besides DK Metcalf, and it seems like they've been trying to use their tight ends more. Like, they basically have 3 good tight ends and 1 wide receiver. Like, but if they could get another wide receiver out there, I might take it because Nate Hobbs is horrible for the Green Bay Packers right now.
Yeah, it's a tough pick to pick. I'm really banking on the fact because the Steelers defense struggles so much covering Chase, covering T. Higgins. I like their matchup a little bit better here against the Packers wide receivers player for player. I think they can do a little bit better. Maybe they won't be locked down. It's not going to be perfect, but I think it can be better. And again, just like with Bo Nix and other quarterbacks that people have hyped up over every offseason, I have no faith in Jordan Love week to week. It seems like he's a different quarterback week to week, depending on the matchup and really depending on how well their rushing attack does. If their rushing attack gets slowed down and this Steelers front seven is formidable, the Packers offense is going to struggle. It's just that simple. We'll see what happens here. But that's our picks, guys. If you guys missed any of it, you can rewind the stream, go watch all of them. We also talked about some trades at the beginning of the stream. If you guys are just tuning in, want to go watch it, please help me out with a like on the stream. It helps to get out to more people. The stream almost hit 1,000 viewers last week. That was thanks to all of you guys hitting that like button. Appreciate you guys so much for the support. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you can be here every time I post. Go check out Joe Morley's channel for Raiders content if you want to see some Raiders stuff from Joe Morley. Joe, anything else you want to say before I log us out here?
Or if you want to just see me cry, that works too. Like,
well, this week is a bye week, so you can just fantasize.
Yeah, we already lost.
You already lost to the bye week. But that's going to do it for us this week here in NFL Mike's Corner for the Mike's Pickems Challenge. Again, huge shout out to the sponsor, MyBookie. Make sure you guys go and use that promo code. That also supports the channel a ton. We'll catch you next week. I like this Wednesday time slot, but we don't know for sure. It's going to be Tuesday or Wednesday. Again, turn on notifications. We'll see you then. Who's going to win every game of Week 8? Hey, you don't got to worry about the Raiders losing, Joe.